All right, hello and welcome to our session of FitEssentials Basics. I'm Shauna. I'll be guiding you through class today. Here's our disclaimer, and then we're going to start from standing. You're about to engage in intense physical activity. Proceed with caution. Do not attempt to perform any movements or activity that exceed your current physical capabilities. Participants with injuries, high blood pressure, chronic health conditions, or recent chest pain, or if you have any other conditions that may limit your ability to participate, please contact your physician or healthcare provider before proceeding. All right, let's do it. Come on up. Okay, we're gonna start standing. Bring the hands in front of the chest. Pull those shoulders back. We're gonna breathe in, stretch up to overhead. And exhale, drop the arms down to the side. Pull the shoulders back. Very good. Twice more, pull that chin in. Close the eyes, lengthen, and relax. Fantastic. Last time through, breathe and reach. Exhale, relax. Open through those shoulders. Very good. From here, we're going to walk the feet in, have the toes pointing straight ahead. Give a little bit of bend in the knees. We're going to cross the arms over the shoulders to start. And we're just going to start with a nice forward bow. So bowing forward, sending the hips back, and then squeeze the glutes as you stand straight up. We're going to go about 5 times there. Long spine. Just go as far down as you're like, all right, there's my hamstrings. Kind of pause there for a moment. And if you are really flexible, don't go beyond about 90 degrees. So once your chest is parallel to the floor, that should be your bottom position. Good job. Let's go one more here. Bowing forward and standing tall. Very nice. From here, you're going to mirror me. So let's take your right foot forward, left foot back. Right hand onto your right hip. And we're going to start with actually, let's go both hands on the hips. And we're just going to start by shifting the hip forward. So push it forward, rock it back. There you go. Squeeze the glute of that back leg. Very nice. So once you kind of feel that rhythm, pushing the hip forward, now let's take your left hand up at your left shoulder. And as you push the hips forward, you're going to reach across your body. There you go. Rock it back, rotate back, bringing the elbow in, hand to the palm. And now you're going to reach again, just reach a little bit higher, like you're about the level of your eyes, pulling it back and in. And twice more, just reaching a little bit higher each side, each time, reaching across, pulling it in. Last time, up and over the head if you feel comfortable there. Fantastic. Down and relax. Walk the feet back in. Let's go hands on the hips. We're going to circle them around in between legs. Very good. Push those hips out to the side. Engage the glutes. Great to see you, Hunter. There you go. And reverse directions when you're ready. Same thing, other side. Fantastic. All right, we're going to switch sides. Remember, you're going to mirror me. So it's your left foot forward, your right foot back. We're starting with hands on both hips, and we're just going to kind of wake up that hip rock here. So you can rock the hips forward, squeezing the glute of that trail leg. Rock them forward. Just feel a little bit of an opening there on the front of the hip. Fantastic. And then when you're ready, now you'll take your right hand, bring the palm right at the shoulder height. As you rock the hip forward, you're going to reach across the body. Reach and stretch, and then pull it back to neutral. We're going to go about 4 times there, reaching a little bit farther, a little bit higher each time, and then pulling it back. Good job. Shift the hip right about eye height. Back and in. One more time. Up and over. And back and in. Fantastic. Walking those feet back in. Now we're going to start to sidestep the feet and open through the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulders back and down. As I swing my arms back, I turn the palms forward. So it's like I'm opening the palms straight ahead. It just kind of helps open the chest a little bit more. Rotate those shoulders back and in. Very nice. All right, from here, have your feet nice and grounded. You can either just reach your arms straight up, or if you have fairly good shoulder flexibility, interlace the hands and then reach straight up. From here, make sure you're grounded into your feet, heels planted, and we're just gonna nice and slightly side bend. So either hands interlaced or just reaching as best you can. Bend to one side and then bend to the other. Breathe in when you come back to center, and then holding strong, exhale as you reach to the side. Breathe into center, exhale as you reach long. One more time each direction. Good. and over. Good job. Shake those arms out. Bring them back down. We'll go back to our side step, also known as our seal jacks. As those arms swing forward, try to alternate which arm crosses over on top. Very good. All right, from here, relax those arms down, walk the feet in, pull the shoulders back. We're gonna start with our paused march. So everything nice and controlled. Reach one knee with the opposite hand. Down and switch, grip the floor, lift and reach, down and switch. Very good. Really focus here to stay stable through the hips, fire those glutes. Fantastic. Couple more each side. Oops, a little off balance there myself. Take your time as you switch sides. Nice. And your balance will be helped by really pulling those shoulders back as you go to one side. One more time to the other, and relax. Good job. Hands on the hips. We're just gonna rock the hips this time instead of a full circle, rocking them side to side. Anytime you feel awkward, just smile, just laugh at yourself. Exercise is an easy thing to be critical of, so you always want to be generous with yourself. All right, backing in. Now we're gonna add our punch across the body. So pull those shoulders back, standing tall, lifting up through that core. And then here we go. Lift one side and punch across to the other. Good. As you open the chest, really pull those shoulders back. Punch and reach, back and in. And this is a good exercise to help increase that breathing rate. So as I punch, exhale, blow the air out. Yep. And you want to focus to try to keep your hands about shoulder height. So I kind of saw myself in the last class, I was like dropping the arm down. So try to punch at shoulder height. Good job. Maybe one more each side. Reach and relax. Good job. Either side steps or overhead. Seal jacks or our regular stepping jack. If you want a little bit more movement, you can always jump here. Regular jumping jack. This is basic here, so we kind of avoid the jumping, but you know your body. So if you want to jump around a little bit, do it. Good job. 10 more seconds here. Opening those arms. And go ahead and relax them down. Beautiful. Hands on the thighs. Walk your feet in so the toes are straight ahead. Lengthen first, so everything lifts up. Tuck your chin into your chest, have a little bend in your knees, and then we're gonna round forward. Now we're just stretching out the back of the body, holding strong in your spine, and you know your body where you're like, okay, that's as far as I can reach right now. Just pause there. If you need to come back up to the top, do it. Otherwise, when you're hanging out here, focus your breath into the back of the rib cage. So you're trying to expand your spine in the back, and then when you're ready, tuck the hips under, making your way back up. Fantastic. Next, we're going to go tricep side bend. So you can sit down if you'd like for this, or have your feet about hip width apart so you're nice and stable. Bend the knees a little bit. Mirror me. So your right arm, reach straight up, bend the elbow. Don't let yourself drop forward here. Lengthen, grab that elbow, pulling it back, and then either staying tall or just a nice side bend. Breathe in to lengthen, bending to the side. Good job. Staying lifted through the torso. Couple more. And last time, bend it over and shake it out. Great job. Same thing, opposite arm. Lengthen, chin in, reaching up. Bend that elbow, grab that elbow, and then here we go. Taking it to the side, standing tall. All right, after we finish this stretch here, we're going to go into some glute activation and some balance work. So if you have a chair nearby, we're going to use a little bit of a chair for some balance work. If you're pretty good with your balance, then don't worry about it, but just if you'd like. All right, shake that arm down. If you have some water nearby, let's grab a drink before we go into this next piece. Okay. So first, we're going to start standing for the glute activation. You're going to pick a side you want to start on. I'm going to start balancing on the left leg. I'm going to extend the right. So I just set the left foot down, toes straight ahead. Lift straight up out of your core. And you're going to take your right leg. You're going to point it forward, and then you're just going to kind of glide it straight back, focusing to extend through the hips, squeeze the glute. point it forward, and then just glide it back, arching, not avoiding the arch, pull the belly button in, squeezing the glute. Good job. We're gonna go 30 seconds here. And as you do this, lift up out of that hip so you don't just drop into that left hip. Point forward, glide it straight back, squeeze the glute, point, and glide. Good job. Point and glide. And you can even kind of put your hand on your bum there in the back. That helps to kind of have that physical feeling to squeeze against and relax. Good job. Rest both feet down. Let's shake out those hips a little bit, rocking them side to side again. All right, before we go to that opposite side, now we're gonna practice some balance. We're gonna do the tandem stance today. So you're gonna pretend you're on a tightrope. Place your left foot forward, place your right foot right behind that left foot. Pull the shoulders back, standing tall and balancing, looking straight ahead. And go upwards of 30 seconds here. You're starting to feel fairly stable with this. If you want more of a challenge, close your eyes as you're balancing. Woo, it makes such a big difference. As in way more challenging. Shoulders pulled back, lifting up through your midline. We're halfway through that 30 seconds. You just step out of it and reset, do it. This is where you want to be really kind with yourself because it's easy to get critical as you wobble. 2, 1, and relax. Great job. So that was the left side. We're going to do that same thing now on the right side. I'm just going to spin this around. We're going to be supporting through the right leg, lifting up through the core, and the left leg, you're going to point it forward and glide it back, squeezing that glute. Point and glide. We'll work this for 30 seconds. Again, avoiding the arch of the low back. Hello, hello, John. Point and glide. Good job. Halfway. We're going to keep lifting up out of that support hip. Point, glide straight back. Fire the glute. Breathe and squeeze. Maybe one more. Point and glide straight back. Beautiful. Take about 15 seconds to rest here. Good time to kind of glide those hips side to side. Keep them loose. We're going back to that tandem stance. This time we're going to place the right foot forward, left foot back, pull up, squeeze those shoulders together, and here we go, looking straight ahead. As you squeeze the shoulder blades, don't let them shrug up into the ear, so pull them down the rib cage. Very nice. Whew. My eyes aren't even closed and I'm wobbling all around. We're over halfway, folks. Just under 10 seconds left. Be patient, be kind for yourself. And 3, 2, 1, step it out. Nice job. We're gonna take 30 seconds. We're gonna progress the glute exercise. So if it feels best for you to do what we did on the first time, the leg swing, just that, we call that standing hip extension, then stay with that. Otherwise, we're gonna go into like an elevated, we call it like a quadruped. We're gonna place the hands on the side of a couch, the back of the couch, the chair seat here, walk the feet back, and then when you're ready, we're gonna start by pulling the knee in towards the elbow and you'll extend it straight back. Here we wanna avoid that arched back. So ribs down, belly button in, okay? So either the standing tall version or the bowing forward. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Pulling it knee in towards the elbow, extend straight back. In, and once you know what you're doing, look down at your hands. Squeeze the glute. And again, you shouldn't have any pinching in that back. So if you are, you might be arching it a little bit. Pull the belly button in. Maybe don't drive your leg quite as high. Let's go one more. In and extend and come on up and relax. Great job. Legs side to side. You can either stay with the tandem stance where you're going to set one foot in front of the other, or if you want to progress it a little bit more of a challenge, we'll go single leg balance. So the same side that you just pulled that knee in, I was on my right side. So I'm going to set that right foot down, pull the shoulders back, 2, 1, and here we go. Either tandem stance or single leg balance. Again, that tandem stance is like you're standing on the tightrope or the balance beam. And we want to avoid those hips dropping out. So if you feel that hip start to drop, set the foot down, pull everything back up. We are halfway, folks. Gripping the toes. Squeeze those shoulders back. That's going to help that posture and help that balance. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Good job. So I'm going to swing it around. So remember, you can do the standing tall version, lifting and gliding, or supporting the hands down. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Opposite leg. I'm on the left this time. Elbow to the knee, extend straight back. Squeeze the glute. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Looks great. Nice. Think about lengthening from the top of your head to the bottom of your foot. In and extend. Maybe one more. 2, 1, and rotate. Nice work. All right. Get our way around. Standing tall, either that tandem stance or gripping the toes down. 2, 1, here we go. Looking straight ahead. I'm on the left this time. Shoulders back, eyes up. Fantastic. Woo. There's our halfway. Keep pulling those shoulders back, lifting up through the midline. Just laugh when you start to balance check. Kelly, you're looking steady as a rock. Very good. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. We're going to do that one more time through, everybody, but we're going to take about 30 seconds rest this time before we start that last round. So grab some water. Shirley, if you want to turn your camera on, we can't see your smiling face today. If you don't want the camera on, that's fine as well. All right, about 10 seconds till we start. I'm back on the right side, placing those hands underneath the shoulders, walking the feet back, and 2, 1, here we go. Pulling the knee in towards the elbow, extend it straight back. As you extend the leg, pay attention that the foot doesn't rotate out. You want to have those toes pointing straight down towards the floor. Breathe. Breathe in to pull a knee in. Exhale as you extend. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. 1 to 2 more. 2, 1, and let's rotate. Good job. Making your way up. Balance work is next. I'm going to take it back to that tandem stance. So you can go that single leg balance if you'd like. I'm going to go right foot in front of that left. 2, 1, here we go. Your choice. Which one do you like better? Or sometimes you want to do the one that you don't like as well, because that's usually the one we need to practice the most. But hey, if you're like, I don't want to be too challenged today, then just be kind. Whoops. Eyes straight ahead. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Last time we're going to rotate here on this circuit. Get some good glute activation, and we're going to move into that next piece. So I'm going to go to the left leg this time, placing both hands down. When you place those hands down, splay your fingers nice and wide. So how wide can I make my handprint? And then whenever you're ready, pulling that knee in or extending the straight leg if you're doing the standing position. Knee in towards the elbow. Squeeze that backside as you extend. Pull her in. Extending straight back. Eyes towards the wrist. Lifting up out of your shoulders. 10 more seconds. In and pause. Extend. Squeeze. Maybe one more. In and hold. And drive it back. Good job. And shake it out. Fantastic. Final balance piece. Just climb that phone call. All right, so I'm going to go tandem stance, either on the left leg, single leg balance, or on that tightrope, left foot in front, right foot behind. 2, 1, here we go. Eyes up, looking straight ahead. Nice smooth breathing. Fantastic. Just over 10 seconds to go. Reach those arms nice and long. Keep pulling those shoulders back. Lifting up out of the hips. 3, 2, 1, and shake it out. Whoosh. Nice work there on that first circuit. Grab your water bottle. Let's stay hydrated. All right, we're going to be doing some overhead work next. If you don't feel comfortable, if your shoulders bother you to go overhead, I recommend not using weights for this. You can always reach out in front as you need. If you want to use bands, you can. But before we jump into it, I'd like to open up the chest a little bit more. So if you have a doorway or a wall nearby, we're going to walk over to that wall. You're going to put your elbow about 90 degrees, placing it against the wall or against the doorway. Inside leg steps forward. Just kind of straddle the legs here, hip width apart so you're nice and stable, and then you're going to lean into it and turn your body away. Get a nice opening on the front of that chest. Nice deep breaths here. And allow the chest to open first. And then when you're ready, if you want to kind of add a little bit to it, we can open up that outer shoulder as well. Reaching forward, circling up and back. And as I reach forward, palm turns in. So palm faces towards the body. As I'm coming overhead, I'm rotating my hand so that as I reach back, now my palm's facing away. One more time. Reach in, face in with the hand, rotate overhead, reaching back. Fantastic. Shake it out. Same thing, other side. So I'm going to bring the elbow up right about here. Place the arm against the wall. Inside leg steps forward. And remember not to worry about the outside arm yet. We're just going to lean into it. Feel a little bit of an opening, like right in the front of the chest here on the other side. Leaning into it. And then just gently turn away. So you open that torso. Breathe. Our breath is our friend. It helps our heart rate, helps our emotions, helps the stretching. And then if you'd like to add that outside arm, reaching forward, rotating overhead as you reach back. Good job. Smile, stretch, moving the body. Good work. One more time through, forward, up and around. Fantastic. All right, folks. We're going to be doing 3 exercises here. So I mentioned that overhead press. Actually, I don't have my weights with me. So I'm going to be using the band to press overhead. So you're welcome to mimic me. If you have some smaller dumbbells that you can hold one in each hand, you'll be alternating arms, pressing overhead. Okay. If you can use nothing here too. You can just work on that overhead reach. If you want to use a band, how I go overhead with it is I sit on it. So I put it right underneath my hips, trying to make it as even as possible. And then I kind of wrap it behind my arms. And then I use the band here, push one up and just alternating sides. We're going to do that for 45 seconds. Then we're going to come to our feet, supporting the hands on the chair for mountain climbers. And then we're going to sit back down. If you have bands, we're going to put it around one foot and we're going to do our seated row, reaching forward, pulling it back and in. Okay, if you don't have bands, you can pretend that you do, or you could also do a bent over row where you hold a weight, reach forward, pulling it in here. All right, 3 times through. Let me know if there are questions. Otherwise, we're going to start here in about 10 seconds. So if you're seated, sit tall. And 2, 1, here we go. Push one up and then the other, alternating sides. On the overhead press, it's the only time I'll tell you to try to bring that shoulder up and into the ear. So push high, try to feel that shoulder blade elevate along your rib cage. It's a nice extension overhead. And there's also the tendency, if you tend to be stiff in your shoulders, you'll want to arch that back. So think ribs down as you push. Elevate up, elbow forward, pushing high. Good job. Couple more. Nice. Great extension, Kelly. Looks good. Straight up and down. 2, 1, and rotate. Very good. Set down your weights or your band. Making our way around. We're going to do what's called a mountain climber next from an elevated position. So whenever you're ready, you're going to place your hands, both hands down. Walk the feet back just a little bit. And then when you're ready, you're going to pull one knee towards one elbow, and we're alternating sides here. So knee up towards the elbow, marching it back and forth as if you're climbing a mountain or crawling up the mountain, however you want to see it. We go 45 seconds total, so we've got just under 30 seconds left. And similar to when we were doing those hip extensions from this position, pull the belly button in as you push out of the shoulders. Fantastic. That's 30 seconds. If you want to shake it out there, please do. Otherwise, we're doing a full 45. Belly tight, midline in. And 2, 1, and rotate. Very good. Seated row or bent over row is next. So if you have your band, go ahead and grab it. Come back to your chair. You're going to put the band around 1 foot. Sitting tall, you're going to reach forward, and then whenever you're ready, shoulders down, elbows in. Reach forward and a row. There you go, Kelly. You can do like a bent over row. Squeeze, reach, tall chest here. And I like to rotate the hands. So as I'm reaching out in front, my palms are down towards the floor. As I pull my elbows in, I rotate the palms so that they're face up. Down, palms up. Squeeze those elbows tight. You want to strengthen that mid back with these guys. Working on that posture. Keep us tall. Let's go 1 to 2 more. Reach down, pull it in. Last time, reach down, and 2, 1, and relax. Good job. We're gonna take 30 seconds break, and then we'll be back to that overhead press. So good time to grab some water. I actually remember I do have a weight over here. So you can go back to the bands if you'd like for that overhead press, sitting on it. I'm gonna show with 1 weight here how we're gonna alternate sides. So 3, 2, 1, here we go. I'm gonna push one side up, bringing it down, and switching sides. Very good. One side to the other, elevate through. And again, if you're like, man, it's hard for my shoulders to do that, just reach without any weight. You're gonna get some benefit from that, just working on that range of motion. Elbow comes forward as you come down, pushing high, elbow forward. Just watch your chin if you're switching arms here. Fantastic. Breathing through. Bringing that weight straight up to overhead, best you can. Maybe 1 more. 2, 1, and rotate. Fantastic. We're going to go to our mountain climbers next. All right, standing tall, place those hands under both shoulders. Midline strong, and whenever you're ready, knee towards the same side elbow, back and down. Turn your gaze right between the hands once you know what you're doing. Remember to spread out those fingers. You kind of want to actively try to grip your hand down into the surface that you're supported on. And you want to focus on keeping the hips nice and level here. So don't let your hips drop in, lifting them up, working that midline strength. That's 30 seconds, everybody. Feel free to stand up and shake it out, especially if you're newer to this. Maybe you're a little bit tired today. Good work. Maybe 1 more each side. 2, 1, and rotate. Very good. Seated row or bent over row. You're going to sit down. You're going to put the band around your waist. A bent over row. You want to have a nice flat back and it would look like this. But we're going to demo from the seated position. Sitting tall, extend out those legs. 2, 1, here we go. Shoulders down as you pull those elbows in. And remember the hand position. So palms down, rotating palms up. Palms down, squeeze those elbows in. Imagine you're trying to touch your shoulder blades together behind you. Breathe in as you reach. Exhale as you row in. Hey, Emily, reach out and pull in. Good to see your smile. Good work. Couple more. Reach and row. Reach it out. Row, 2, 1. Relax. Fantastic, folks. That's the end of set 2. We're going to take 40 seconds before we go back for that overhead press of set 3. And I want to show you one more option on that overhead press. If you're like, that's just not working for me, you can bring the band behind you, or again, pretend you don't have any band, and you can do what we would call like a chest press here with the band, where it's behind my back and I'm just pushing straight out in front. All right, 15 seconds till we start. I'm going to go back to demo the overhead press with the band. So I'm going to put it underneath my backside. And then I'm going to sit down, try to have it equal from side to side. Pull those elbows in. 2, 1, here we go. Alternating sides, reaching up, elbow forward. As you reach up, try to bring your fist or your weight straight over the head best you can. Push high, lower down. Fantastic. We want to keep those shoulders happy. It's really important to move them through different ranges of motion. Work on that stability. So have that shoulder blade learn how to rotate out. When we don't reach overhead, we lose that ability. There you go. Keep that chin pulled in and continue to sit tall as you move here. We're almost done. That's 30 seconds. If you're ready for a break, push high, elbow forward, breathe. Fantastic. Maybe one more each side. Push high, drive it up, and rotate. Good work. Final round of mountain climbers. All righty. Coming into position, we're going to starfish those hands nice and wide. Splay the fingers. Place them underneath the shoulders. Walk those feet back. And whenever you're ready, up and in, back and down. So I'm kind of pulling that belly button in. I'm really lifting up right between the shoulder blades. So you can imagine if I were to be there at your home, I could come up and just kind of tap you right on the mid-back. And I would say, lift up right here, right on that mid-back. That's usually where I see people sink down on this position first. So you're using that lower core as you pull that knee up and in. That's our 30-second mark. Continue to breathe. It's normal for your breathing to feel challenged. You drive that knee up because you're compressing your diaphragm. That's that big old muscle that helps us breathe. And 2, 1, final rotation for this circuit. Taking it back to the chair, final set of that seated row. And if you've noticed which foot you've been wrapping that band around, try to use a different foot than last time. So place that foot around, try to even it out best you can. Sit tall. If you want a little bit more tension here, just wrap it around the wrist. That will shorten the band, make it harder. Here we go. Elbows in, shoulders down. Palms down as you reach. Squeeze it back as you row. Reach and row. Reach and row. And try to smile as you pull it in. Relax the face. Smile those lips up. And you're like, what is she talking about? What am I smiling for? Even if they've just done studies, right, that show that we can release a cascade of the hormones that help us to feel happy, even when we just turn the lips up and smile, if there's not any particular reason. We're over 30 seconds in. So if you're ever feeling a little bit down and blue, try to put on a song that makes you feel joy. Find something to laugh at. Reach down, pull it in, 2, 1, and relax. Woo! Good job. All right, let's go ahead and just spend some time here in the chair for a moment. I want to loosen up our hips a little bit more. So make sure there's nothing on the floor. Walk your feet out and kind of come to the edge of the chair so you're seated on the edge. Sit tall. And we're going to start with this windshield wipering, if that's a word, the knees side to side. Move your legs as if they're windshield wipers. Take it to one side, taking it to the other. If you prefer to lie on your back and do this as well, you can do this down on the floor. Next, we're going to push that left, or you're going to mirror me. Your right foot pushes down, sit tall, pull your left knee towards the left shoulder, and let's roll that ankle around. So pivot that ankle around. Yep. And then change direction, same thing other side. We just have one more circuit left here. We're going to be doing some deadlifting, basically picking something up off the ground. Switch legs, folks. Drive your left foot down, pull your right knee towards your right shoulder, roll the ankles around. Either doing some squatting with or without weight, or you can use your chair for what we call our sit stand. And then our third exercise is a march with weight or without weight. So roll that ankle back around and shake it out. We're going to go glute stretch next. Let's go back to your left. See if you can take that left leg up and hook the heel on the opposite knee. And then again, sit tall and use your upper body to hug that leg in, opening up that outer thigh. Just kind of guide it up and down, back and forth. Feel for any stiffness in that hip. And then when you're ready, set that foot down, same thing other side. Pull the leg up, best you can, pull the foot across, or just use that upper body and pull the knee towards the opposite side of the body. Again, we're looking to kind of say hello to the glute here, outer part of the hip. All right, so you can either repeat this stretch, or if you feel okay to go a little bit deeper into the hip, we'll move into figure 4. So now you work that other foot up, trying to pull the heel, pull the ankle towards the opposite thigh, and then allow the knee to just drop down a little bit. Sit nice and tall as you do this. If you're fairly flexible through your hips, if you want a little overpressure, you can just place your hand on that knee, but don't let it be intense. Make sure it's gentle. Sit tall, breathe. We're gonna go 10 more seconds here. Good time to close the eyes. One more breath, and then let's go ahead and relax. Pull out of that position, same thing on the other side. Bringing it up, working that foot across. Sit tall as you let that knee drop down. Very good. And breathe here. We're gonna hold upwards of 30 seconds. Just gradually allow that hip to open. And if you feel sore in your hips over the next couple of days, the balance work that we did, it challenges all those small stabilizer muscles of your hips. So these are good stretches to do. It's a great stretch to do if you're talking to someone on the phone or watching a television program or a good movie. All right, let's go ahead and make your way out of that one. And then we're gonna make our way back up to standing. If you haven't had water in a little while, let's grab a drink. And then we're gonna kind of do a little bit more prep for these movements. All right. So the first thing that I want to prep is we're going to stretch the back of the body once again. So we're going to walk those toes in, standing tall, hands on the thighs, have a little bend in the knee, chin to the chest, and we're going to go back down, reaching down for the ankles. Breathe into the back of the body. And now I just want you to pay attention. If you can touch the ground or touch your ankles, then it's probably appropriate on the deadlifts to go all the way down to the floor. Go ahead and stand up if you haven't. If you're someone that as you bow forward, it's like you get pretty tight at the level of your shins before you get to your ankles, then when you're doing your deadlifts here, I wouldn't recommend going all the way to the floor unless you have a fairly tall weight that you're lifting, like maybe you have a sandbag or something. Otherwise, you're going to bow forward, bringing the weight down between the legs. And like we did in our warm-up earlier, sending the hips back, pushing the knees out, bowing forward and stand, okay? You can hold one weight with two hands. If you have a little bit lighter weight, you can hold it with one hand and then switch hands each rep. Okay, I'm going to be demoing with two hands today. That's our first movement. From there, I want us to warm up some squats next. So I always encourage, best you can, if you can do a squat sit. For that, I like to hold on to a chair, the door frame, what have you. I'm going to walk my feet out so they're just outside the hips, slight toe out, and then here, sending your hips back, pushing your knees out. Go ahead and come down and do a squat. Taking your time, reaching down and come on up. So go ahead and join me here. We're going to warm this up a little bit. So you can also reach the arms out or hold on, pushing the knees out, coming down. Best you can, you want to try to get those hips below the knees. I know we all have some limitations there, so judge it for your body. But a lot of times when I start working with people, or when I've worked with people in the past with knee problems particularly, sometimes the squat feels really icky initially. But if they do this squat sit throughout the day, or at least a few times during the week and whatnot, it helps to get everything open. And oftentimes people will start to feel better because now they're moving to that range of motion. You don't have to do it a lot, but it just helps to get that joint moving, okay? And if you don't want to squat like that, then use your chair, use a bench, sitting back with control and standing tall, all right? After the squat, we'll finish. You can march without weight, or you could hold weights if you'd like, up at the chest, or even down at your side. If I had one in each hand, it would be ideal, all right? We're gonna go 3 rounds, working for 45 seconds, resting for 15 seconds, 3 times through. Any questions before we start? And we're gonna take 30 seconds in between sets. So we'll go 15 seconds in between exercises, and then it'll be 30 seconds each time before we come back to our deadlifts. All right, friends, if there are no questions, we're gonna start in 10 seconds. Any weights you're lifting, place them down on the floor, walk your feet nice and wide, standing tall. 2, 1, here we go. I'm gonna bow forward, pushing the knees out, standing straight up, squeeze the glutes. Use your upper body to kind of keep that weight close to the body, hinging over and stand. Bowing forward, remember you can go right about mid-shin if it's hard to go all the way down. Chin in, looking forward, squeeze those glutes. Fantastic. Over and up. Coming up on 30 seconds. If you're just kind of getting into this, that's 30 seconds. So feel free if you want some longer rest, work for 30 and rest for 30. Over and up. If you're going that full 45, we'll go a couple more reps. Over and up. And 2, 1, and rotate. Very good. Squatting is next. I'm going to demo the first round to the chair without any weight. Set those feet out. 2, 1, here we go. If you can do it without the chair, that's fantastic. I recommend it. Otherwise, use your chair. Sit back, knees push wide, drive into your feet. Good work. Grip those toes down as you lower into that squat. Oftentimes when people are focused on staying in the heels, they lift their toes up and then you lose the activation of the foot. You lose that arch. So push the big toe down. Typically all those smaller toes will follow. Knees out, sitting back, sit tall. That's 30 seconds. Control. Pull that belly button in as you lower. Standing tall. Fantastic. There you go, Kelly. Reach back and up. Maybe one more. And 2, 1, and rest and rotate. Great job. We're marching next. So with weight or without weight, if you want to hold weight either at your sides or right up underneath your chin. 2, 1, here we go. Knees up. And you can go stationary here or march around your space. If you're not holding weight, I'd recommend that like cross body punch where you punch across the body with the opposite arm. Let me not try to demo with a weight in my hand. Staying tall, knees up, feet up. Good job. This is our last exercise here before we take a little bit of a longer break in between. That's our 30-second mark. Breathe as you move here. Well done. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. We're going to take 30 seconds before we go back to those deadlifts. So be set 2 of 3 coming up. Time to grab some water. All right, 15 seconds. If you don't feel quite ready, just join us when you are. All right, place the feet, walk them outside the hips, standing tall in the spine, hinging over, chin in. Here we go. Standing straight up. And we're gonna go long spine here, knees out and stand. Pull that chin in. And remember to engage the upper body. Don't let it swing way out. So hold it close. I think about pulling my shoulder blades back to keep that weight close to my center of gravity. I don't want it swinging out wide from my body. Hinging over, chin in. Squeeze that bum as you stand straight up. That's 30 seconds. And sometimes people will like overarch here, they'll lean back. I don't want you to do that. Just straight up and down, bow forward and stand. We're almost to our 45. Over and up, keep breathing. 2, 1, and rest. Very good. Squats are next. Feel free if you want to stick with the chair. I'm going to show without the chair this time. All right, set those feet about hip width apart, slight toe out. 2, 1, here we go. Sitting back, standing tall. Good job. Push those knees wide, pull the hips nice and deep, and then can use those arms, pull tall. Nice. Strengthen those legs, full range of motion, sitting back, driving tall. Beautiful. Nice and patient. If you're sitting to the chair, just try not to plop. Just control down, knees out, chest up. That's 30 seconds. Sitting back. Beautiful. Couple more if you're going to the full 45. Last one. And rotate. Good job. 15 seconds. We have our marching next. I'm going to show this round without weight. So we'll do the march and punch if you're not holding weight. Feel free if you want to hold your weights. 2, 1, here we go. Shoulders back, chest tall. I'm going to punch across the body. And now I'm going to be really intentional about that breathing. Exhale as I punch. I remember I was catching myself kind of dropping those arms down, trying to punch about shoulder height, pulling those elbows back. Similar to that seated row we did earlier, kind of squeeze those elbows together in the back. Knees up, toes up. Good work. If you're like, man, I'm doing it wrong, just let that thought go. That's 30 seconds. Do the best you can. And 2, 1, and there's our rest break. Nice job. We're going to take 30 seconds again. And then we'll have our final cycle, starting back with those deadlifts. All right, if your water's nearby, grab your final drink. Not your final drink, but. Okay, friends, 10 seconds till we start. Bring those weights close. Right between the feet, standing nice and tall over top. And here we go, bowing forward. Sending the hips back, pulling the chin in. Squeeze the glutes. Over and down. Breathe. Fantastic. Long spine. Make sure you're not locking out the knees. Nice long forward fold, standing straight up. Yep, chin in, bowing forward. Squeeze the glutes as you stand tall. Over and down. We're over 30 seconds. That's 35 seconds. Wonderful job. Maybe one more. 2, 1, and rest. Very good. You can go to your squats. If you want to hold weight, even to the chair, you can. I'm going to show them unassisted with the chair again, and we're going to hold a little bit of weight this time. All right, set the feet just outside the hips, eyes up, and whenever you're ready, setting those hips back, pushing the knees out. Breathe as you move. You want to really have that chest nice and tall here, so it should look different than the last movement we did. We're not hinging the hips now, we're lowering the hips down with a vertical chest. Knees push out as those hips drop down. We're nice and controlled through that movement. Sinking down, standing tall. That's 30 seconds. Fantastic. Almost there. And 2, 1, and final rotation. Good job. You can set those weights down, shake it out. You can either keep the weight down or pick it up for this final round. Final march, 2, 1, and here we go. Knees up, toes up. Try to keep those hips as balanced as you can, and move at your speed. So if you're feeling strong, feeling fresh, You can move faster. If you're like, "Ooh, I'm tired," just move with control. There you go. Yep, punching the arms across if you're unweighted. There's 30 seconds. Feel free to rest there or finish this final 15 with us. Feeling those thighs burn. Yes, my legs are burning too. And 3, 2, 1, and we are all done. If you're using any weights, set them down and give yourself a round of applause. Woo! High fives, high tens. Nice work. Let's walk it out, grab some water. We're gonna finish with a little bit of stretching. All right, friends. If you're able to grab your foot, I'd like to stretch out that quad next. If you're like laughing at me when I say the idea of grabbing your foot, then stand in that long lunge and do that hip opener that we did earlier where you shift the hips forward, kind of reach up to overhead and rotate. If you can grab that foot, lift up, go ahead and grab that foot. We're gonna spend about 30 seconds here, lengthening the quad, opening up the front of the hip. Breathe. And I try to remind you at least once a class that on our stretches, we want them to be effective, but you don't need to be like sweating bullets or grimacing in order for a stretch to be effective. So just be gentle, gradually encouraging the muscles to elongate, but not to where you want to curse at me and slap me for having to hold this stretch. And go ahead and relax. Same thing, other side. So again, you can do that standing stagger stance, focusing on opening the front of the hip, or feel free to balance, lifting up before you grab that other leg. And we'll go 30 seconds here. Those of you holding your foot, notice your shoulder position as well. Pull the shoulder blade back, kind of use this as a chest opener. There's halfway. Very good. Breathe. 2, 1, and go ahead and relax out of that. Good job. Kind of circle the hips around, and then we're going to go to a calf stretch next. You want to stretch out that lower leg. So either a doorway, wall, or I'm going to just use the chair here. Place the heel down, place the toe up, and then just lean into that calf stretch. We're going to hold about 20 seconds each side. Yep. Lengthening through that knee. You can bend the knee and extend the knee just ever so slightly, kind of changes where you feel the stretch. Very good. When you're ready, let's switch legs. Same thing, other side, heel down, toe up, and then just lean into it. Eyes looking straight ahead. Ten more seconds. And go ahead and relax. Good job. Let's take a seat for the last couple. All right, so from your chair, sitting tall, we're gonna do our seated twist. So you can either keep both feet on the ground, or if you feel good, the side you're stretching to. So you're gonna mirror me. So we're gonna go left hand to your right leg. If you feel good to go a little bit deeper into the twist, you can cross that leg around. Then you still wanna sit tall, and we're just pulling ourselves around to that twist. You can place the hand on the arm of the chair if you have it, and just encourage a little bit more rotation here. Breathe as you twist. We're gonna do this one twice. We'll add the shoulders the second time through. One more nice deep breath here. And relax. Bring that down. Same thing, other side. So again, feel free if you want to keep the feet flat, or now your left leg is gonna cross over. Sit tall, pull yourself around. If you have an arm on your chair here, you can push into that. Think about sitting as tall as you can as you rotate. And just take those nice deep breaths. Breathe in, sit tall, and exhale. Just think about going just ever so slightly more into that twist. One more breath here, and relax. Very good. In between sides, we're gonna go back and go one more time to each side, but let's go to the upper body first. We're going to drop one ear towards the shoulder and then taking it side to side here. Tilt it down. Good job. And we're not shrugging the shoulders up, so keep the shoulders down and just let the neck lengthen a little bit. Very good. And then next, we're going to go our chin to the chest, looking down, and then we'll look up towards the ceiling. Either just do that again or add the overpressure. So I sit tall, I look down, I take my fingertips like ever so gently on the top of the head, just to encourage a little bit more of a stretch in the back of the neck. Gentle, gentle, gentle though. And then from here, if you're comfortable to do it, hands crossed just below the collarbones, pull down on the skin there as you look up. So one more time, looking straight ahead, pulling down just to lengthen the skin in the front of the neck as you look up. Very good, and then release. Final time, chin towards the chest, fingers up on the top of the head, if you choose. And then hands on the chest, looking up one more time. And now this time, instead of looking straight up, as you look up, let's turn your head towards the right, look peering up towards the right side of the ceiling. And then we'll come back to neutral, looking straight ahead, and then again, looking up and kind of tilting your head towards the left side. Go one more time each side, looking straight ahead, pulling down on the chest, looking up, tilting to the right. Down in neutral, looking up, tilting to the right, left, excuse me. Your left, my right. Very good. And then relax those arms down. All right, final seated twist. So either with the foot flat or cross it over. This time we're going to take the hand to the same side shoulder on the side that you're twisting to. So I'll sit tall, rotate around, and then we're going to move that shoulder blade one last time, up and down, tracing that little circle, rotating it back away from you. Breathe. Good job. A couple more times here. Very good. And then we're going to switch sides. Continue to sit tall, hand to the opposite thigh, hand to that same side shoulder, and peering around here, rotating through. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and moving here today. You know, if you're feeling stiff anywhere else, feel free to add in. You can circle the head around, anything else that feels good for your body. If you want to kind of lean forward, stretch out that low back once again, you can. If you're down on the floor, you can lay on your back, hug the knees to your chest. You know, just kind of learn to listen to your body and give it what it needs. Otherwise, thanks for coming. It's Thursday already, so we'll see you next week. For those of you here live, take care.